Hey everybody, this is SWTOR 55 and I'm back with yet another Star Wars The Old Republic video. Originally I was only going to do one of these, but I got multiple requests for more, so I did the video on the Sith Emperor last week, and that did very well, so I'm back again to explain a new topic. From now on, if you guys do want to request a video, you can request it in the comments on YouTube. Try not to do it in a message because I don't get notifications about that in my email or on my phone. So, like I said, either comment on the video itself or you can hit me up on Twitter at ZeroTolerance55. I'll post the links to everything down in the description of this video. So anyway, this time I am going to be covering Revan. And this is going to be before Knights of the Old Republic, and it's going to be about the Mandalorian Wars and his involvement in it, as a prelude to my next video, which will actually cover the events of the Jedi Civil War and Revan during Knights of the Old Republic. So with all that said, let's dive into this. Revan's true homeworld and parentage is unknown, but in an early age he was deemed worthy enough to begin training as a Jedi Knight. Originally an apprentice of the Jedi Master Kreia, Revan began his training at the side of his closest friend Alec, who was also Kreia's apprentice. After a while, they departed from the original master and began receiving training from multiple masters as Revan tried to satisfy his thirst for knowledge. After a while, Revan returned to Kreia when he felt he could no longer learn anything else from the other Jedi besides how to leave the Jedi Order entirely. Revan was deemed too headstrong and proud. However, both he and his friend Alec attained the rank of Jedi Knight. As Jedi, they were recognized as two of the Order's most promising members, even though it was always noted that Revan was the leader of the two. Not too long after Revan attained the rank of Jedi Knight, the Mandalorian Wars erupted in the galaxy. As explained in the Sith Emperor video I did, the Sith sent an emissary to the Mandalorians to convince them to invade the Republic. The Mandalorians were a group of clan-based people that consisted of multiple races, all bound by a war-centered culture. Mandalore, who was the leader of the Mandalorians, fell for the lie he was fed by the Sith. When they told him that they had predicted the Mandalorians crushing the Republic in a glorious victory, but little did he know the Sith were using the powers of the dark side to influence his mind. The Mandalorians began their invasion, taking outer planets at first before the Republic could realize what was going on. As soon as the news broke, the Jedi decided they did not want to intervene in the escalating war, much to Revan's dismay. Revan wanted to join the war effort to help save lives, but the Jedi did not budge in their standpoint. Revan began rallying people to his cause, and even though he was a lone warrior at first, he gained a group of Jedi followers that he recruited to his cause that then referred to him as their new master, including his second in command and old friend Alec. Against the Jedi Council's wishes, Revan and his followers left to scout the Mandalorian front and see the extent of the battle. Leaving the majority of his followers on Surja, Revan explored other planets to uncover evidence that would convince the Jedi Council to join the war effort. While away, his followers on Surja were captured, and after the Jedi refused to enter the war, Revan returned to Surja to free his followers. Following the rescue of his followers, Revan became somewhat of a celebrity. He was seen as a crusading savior, leading his group of renegade Jedi, now known as the Revanchist movement, and as leader of the group, Revan from then on was also referred to as the Revanchist. As the war effort raged on, Revan continued to travel the galaxy, spreading the word of the resistance to anyone who would listen. Both he and Alec were on the planet Cathar when the Mandalorians attacked the planet of Sirocco. During their attack, the Mandalorians rained down nuclear warheads, killing thousands of people in a single strike. Since he was so emotionally attached to the cause, Revan felt the death of thousands through the Force and doubled over in pain while barely being able to tell his best friends the three words, "I feel it." Revan and his followers were determined more than ever to end the Mandalorian threat. At this time, the Jedi Council was convinced that Revan's involvement was too deep, so they issued a recall of all the Jedi involved, and if those Jedi defied the orders, they would be detained. During this time, Alec was on Coruscant and changed his name to Malak to avoid arrest by the Jedi Council. He returned to Revan, and Revan and his followers decided that there was no way they were going to return from battle. Revan, Malak, and their followers were confronted by a group of Jedi on Cathar, which was a planet that was ravaged in the early stages of the war. While the whole confrontation was going on, Revan looked down and noticed a Mandalorian mask on the floor and picked it up. Instantly, his group of Jedi and the Jedi that intended on capturing them witnessed a vision all around them. They saw the Cathar, who were the native people on the planet, being herded into the ocean by the Mandalorian general Cassius Fett. Fett declared that the Cathar must be exterminated for resisting them and dishonoring them. A lone female Mandalorian tried to stop Fett, pleading with him that the Cathar were defeated and genocide was unnecessary. He told her that if she wished to stand with them, she would be killed alongside them. She stood her ground as Fett's ship opened fire. This was a vision of the past, and it disappeared around Revan and the other Jedi. Revan was so inspired by the female Mandalorian's effort that he vowed to wear her mask in her honor until the Mandalorians were brought to justice, which explains where Revan's mask came from and it became the mask he was known for. After this revelation, the Jedi Council still refused to join the war effort. However, they sanctioned Revan's actions and withdrew their recall orders. Thousands of Jedi then flocked to Revan to join his war effort. At some point during the war, Revan stumbled across the Rakatan star map on Kashyyyk. Later, he stumbled across the ancient Sith world of Malachor V, which was home to the Traya's Academy, a Sith academy that operated on the surface. While there, he discovered the significance of Korriban, and it was rumored that his descent to the dark side started at this point. A lot of this stuff, the Rakatan star map, the Sith Academy on Malachor, and the significance of Korriban and his descent to the dark side, all comes into play in my next video where we discuss the Jedi Civil War and Knights of the Republic. Anyway, in order to assure a victory, he returned to the front lines of the war, where he decided to force a showdown with the Mandalorians over Malachor V. Little did anyone know, he ordered the creation of a mass shadow generator, which was a super weapon that used the gravitational pull of a planet in magnifying it, making the planet cave in on itself. After all of his plans were set and pieces were in place, the battle began. Revan entrusted his general Mitra Surik to control the super weapon as he went off to fight Mandalore the Ultimate. Revan killed Mandalore in combat, but not before it was revealed that the Sith were behind the invasion all along, and to prove it, he revealed the location of a planet called Rakad, which would start Revan down the path to finding the Sith. Around this time, the majority of the Mandalorians were on the planet and within range of the super weapon. So Mitra Surik activated the weapon at the orders of Revan. The effects were devastating, killing the Mandalorians, Republic forces, and Jedi alike. Revan was thought of as a hero of the Republic despite the heavy casualties with the defeat of the Mandalorians. After the war, his followers still looked to them as his leader, even going as far as ignoring orders from the Jedi Council and renouncing their allegiance to the Republic. It was at this point that Revan and his followers took a bigger step away from the light side of the Force, while taking a huge one towards the dark side because they developed a hate for the Republic and the Jedi Council itself for taking so long to intervene in the war. Revan and Malak took their fleet and disappeared into the unknown regions of the galaxy. To cover their tracks, they told everyone that they were tracking down the rest of the renegade Mandalorian clans and ending that threat. In reality, Revan knew they weren't a threat, and he was in fact looking for the location of the Sith that neither the Jedi nor the Republic knew existed. This is where I'm going to end this video, and I know it's a crappy place to end, but I really want to keep the Jedi Civil War and the events of Knights of the Old Republic in one video. So that is my next video, and it will be up very soon because I am working on it as the same time I'm working on this one. So if you enjoyed this video, like it on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, comment, tell me, what you liked, what you didn't like. I'm always appreciating feedback. Another way to get a hold of me and keep in contact with me is to follow me on Twitter at ZeroTolerance55 because I'm constantly posting about what I'm working on. And like I said, it's another way for me to get feedback and let you guys know what I'm working on and where I'm at. So follow me on Twitter, subscribe to me on YouTube, and thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it.